Hello dance teachers! Welcome to the Dance to Learn YouTube channel. My name is Jessica Strong, and if you're looking for dance teacher tips, tricks, and advice, you've come to the right place. I encourage you to subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you never miss a video. Now in today's video, I am talking about 2- and 3-year-old dance classes. Should 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds be in the same dance class? Now, in my personal opinion, I always recommend keeping the 2- and the 3-year-olds separated. But my opinion is simply that, just an opinion. However, today I do want to share with you some important facts in childhood development that showcase the key developmental differences between a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old's developmental milestones, and these will support this reasoning. Now today I'm going to be referring to the developmental milestones that are listed on the CDC website for both 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. So let's dive into today's video and talk about the difference in a 2- and 3-year-old's development. First, let's talk about social emotional development. Where 2- and 3-year-olds are similar is in their ability to copy others, especially grown-ups or other children. Now, if you're a dance teacher like me who has your students copy your movements rather than spend a lot of time explaining, then this milestone is an important one. However, this could also mean that you might find yourself in a classroom full of 2- and 3-year-olds who aren't copying you, but rather they're copying each other. And before you know it, you have yourself a full game of monkey see and monkey do. Now, where a 2-year-old and 3-year-old differ is that 2-year-olds show much more defiance when being asked to change or stop certain behaviors. A 2-year-old also wants independence and to be able to play or behave the way that they want to behave, not how a parent or grown-up wants them to behave. They just sometimes can't and don't understand that they shouldn't be behaving a certain way, and this can lead to tantrums and other outbursts. Another key difference between a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old is that 3-year-olds are usually much better at separating from parents. Now, do we still have the occasional 3-year-old that suffers from separation anxiety? Yes. However, separation anxiety is far more common in a 2-year-old than a 3-year-old. And this is really important if you're teaching 2-year-olds dance classes without a parent or caregiver present. So you might consider creating a parent and me dance class for the 2- to 3-year-olds who aren't quite ready to dance without a grown-up. Now, let's take a look at the language differences between 2- and 3-year-olds. In a dance class, students need to be able to follow directions from the instructor. Let's say in your dance class, a direction is, let's please tiptoe walk, find a dot, and sit crisscross applesauce. This is known as a 3-part direction. Part 1, dancers must tiptoe walk. Part 2, dancers must find a dot. And Part 3, dancers must sit crisscross applesauce. Now, a 3-year-old would have no problem following the 2- to 3-step instructions like the one above. A 2-year-old, on the other hand, can only follow a simple 1-step instruction. So this is going to make a huge difference in trying to manage a combined class of 2- and 3-year-olds. You might find yourself having to repeat directions several times to the younger dancers until they can understand their expectations. Now, as far as communicating with others, 2-year-olds can only say sentences of about 2 to 4 words. This means that they may have a hard time communicating with you, the instructor, or even other students. If they are unhappy or need help, this may cause tantrums. Compare this to a 3-year-old who can have a conversation using 2 to 3 sentences at a time. But now, let's look at the main differences in physical development. A 2-year-old is just learning how to coordinate most gross motor movements. So it's important in a dance class that we understand what they can and can't do physically. Let's look at a tiptoe, for example. A 2-year-old is just learning how to stand on tiptoe. They may require assistance by holding on to mom or even a piece of furniture. A 3-year-old will be able to not only stand in tiptoe, but they will also be able to walk in tiptoe. we perform tiptoe walks in almost every preschool-aged dance class. So if a 2-year-old can only stand in tiptoe, but they can't travel, then they might find this movement challenging and cause them to be upset. 2-year-olds are also just beginning to learn how to run and move faster. They have just started learning how to walk and keep their balance, so running may be more of a challenge to run without falling down. 3-year-olds have developed enough coordination to be able to run easily. Now, the largest difference between a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old in their physical development is the 3-year-old's ability to climb up and down stairs, alternating feet. Up until now, 2-year-olds can only walk up the stairs using one foot at a time, and it's usually their dominant foot. Then they'll pause and reuse that same foot to climb up the stairs. This means that 2-year-olds haven't quite developed the ability to fully cross the midline of their brain to perform bilateral movements. So simple dance moves like gallops, chasing feet, marching using both feet, these are going to be a challenge for 2-year-olds. They start showing a body side dominance, meaning that they are either going to be right or left-handed when they're about 2. But they also prioritize that dominant side in most of their movements. So what is the solution? Now that we understand the developmental differences between 2 and 3-year-olds, we can develop a plan for both age groups to ensure that everyone is successful in their dance classes. Now, this doesn't mean that you should no longer allow 2-year-olds in your studio, just the opposite. You should be inviting those 2-year-olds to dance, but with a parent or caregiver. Inviting the parent or caregiver into class will help prevent meltdowns or tantrums from separation anxiety. Parents and caregivers can also help manage their child with simple instructions, as each child may misbehave or become distracted. Lastly, parents can help their child perform more advanced movements to encourage that bilateral development, both in the studio and at home. Parent and Me classes are also great for those 3-year-olds who may still suffer from separation anxiety or who might need some additional guidance in their own personal development. Because as we know, every child is different. 3-year-olds should be given the independence they like by having their own class free from the potentially distracting behaviors that a 2-year-old may bring to class with them. Now, if you're struggling with a class of littles, do a quick age audit and be sure that you've separated the 2s and the 3s into their own classes appropriate for their age and development. Now, if you are looking for more information on Parent and Me classes, check out the suggested video that I've linked in the description down below. That's all I have for you today, dance teacher friends. If you enjoyed today's video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Also, let me know in the comments your thoughts on separating the 2 and 3-year-olds. I will see you in the next video. Happy dancing. Bye.